Hey guys, the last few weeks have been kind of crazy, both with building the car for SEMA and the business, which I'm really excited for everything. I'm really tired. I'm running on a few hours of sleep in the last 3 days. That being said, wanted to get on here, give you an update before SEMA, before we start rocking, because this thing is going to be in primer today and then painted by the end of this weekend, and then assembled Monday, what's in a buff Tuesday, on the truck for Wednesday. Let's do it. So, last you guys saw it, the engine bay was not painted, but now it is painted. The motor's in. I will show you that soon. Actually, I might even, depending on how long I have to edit, maybe I'll throw a photo. If not, you'll see it later on. The body work on the car is completely done, minus the roof and the hood. Both of those will be done. They're not bad, so I'm just gonna do a single block round, but I wanna get the body in primer today, so that way it has the rest of today and then all of tomorrow to cure up. That way I have time to block it and then wet sand it, or block it and then get it into sealer and then paint. This car is, as you can see, it was a lot worse than it looked in photos, right? These were welded up, this was holes, we cut it, we welded it, then we filled it to smooth it out. This was a huge dent. It was really hard to see when the car was slammed anyways, but it always bothered me, so that's fixed. This door gap was all sorts of messed up, so me and my employee Walter, we fixed the gap. The gaps on this car is not gonna be perfect, purely because it needs replacement panels or sheet metal and that kind of stuff, and quite honestly, I just don't have the time. B, it's a driver, it's not a show car only. This is going to be probably the only show that this car goes to. I'm building it for me. It's going to be my kind of daily driver on nice days, and then I'll take it to date nights and cars and coffee. That's kind of the plan for this. So all this is done. Lower rocker and door, that was really the only places that needed filler on the door, minus the gap. This, I know it looks crazy, but there's as little filler as possible. I actually cut out a ton of filler that the previous paint job had on. I still have to sand a little bit of glaze right here, but no big deal, it kind of blends in. So I basically just have to go around it, fine tune everything, and then obviously clean it and mask it. The back panel was an absolute mess. It's hard to see now because it's really good now, but it's there. Again, a little bit of glaze I still have to sand. I am retrofitting this with some Cadillac bullet tail lights, so they'll be about this big, and then they have a different chrome ring, so that's getting smoothed out. All this bodywork, same thing. It was old bodywork and I cut out a ton because it was just too fat. It didn't need it, so we slimmed it down. This whole car got slimmed down quite a bit. We also filled this because there was a seam here. I think someone at some point did a quarter on it and left a seam here. So that's filled and smooth. It's just gonna look way better. It's not like it's a moving panel or anything, so that'll look great. The top, all good. A couple places I had to glaze, but most of the dings and stuff blocked out. And then same thing here. I cut out a ton of filler and then obviously glazed a couple places just to smooth it out, but it all looks good. Again, lower door and rocker, that was really the main trouble issues. This gap's pretty good. On the other side, that door just doesn't line up. The door itself was tweaked and we tried messing with the hinges and all that and we just couldn't get it right. So really I prioritized the fender gap because honestly that's the more important one, as this one is just in and out. Also, this door handle was completely caved in. Someone must have pressed in the door handle so it was cockeyed that way. So we filled this with some fiberglass filler. I still got to glaze this a little bit just to fill some pinholes, but the door handle is all good now. This gap, same deal. We took the grinder and fixed this gap after we made everything line up. This gap was good. This door is way better than that side, which is why I said it's not going to be perfect, because really it needed a new door on that side and we just didn't have the time. Nor do I really care, to be honest. Me personally, I'm never going to be looking at the bad gap, which is not even that bad compared to even some of the modern brand new cars, cough cough Tesla. But then this is all good. This was pretty rough before. Granted, the bumper, the bumper covers like basically all of this, but at least up to here. But it's all good now. You guys never saw it in photos, but you know, that was a thing. Same deal though. This had a low spot that I had to build out, and then obviously we had to do it to final up the or fine tune the gap there. And then obviously this is all going to get flat black. This will get flat black, and then this will get rust treat. Well, sandblasted, then rust treated, and then the black. I'm probably just going to use monocoat on these items, and then this will probably just get single stage black. And then yeah, all the other pieces are at Walter's shop. He's actually working on them now. And yeah, so that's all of the bodywork. Like I said, the motor is already in. Let me pull off the cover. All right. So everything's a little dusty, obviously. I've had this welding cover over the motor just to obviously keep it clean. The bay was semi-smooth. Obviously, there's still some, you know, old lines from the factory and that kind of stuff. Like I said, it's a driver. I'm still gonna have heat. I'm still, you know, going to have the brake booster and all that kind of stuff, which I still have to put back on. But all that being said, this is going to be the final color. Granted, again, it is dusty, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt. But this is the new color. So it's a little bit more green, and then it has a super shift instead of xenon over top. So it has a lot more colors into it. I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up or not, but it is, I mean, it absolutely glows in person. It's going to look absolutely insane on the vehicle. This will also get color matched, and then this will get polished just like the valve covers and the intake. Nothing crazy, but you know, the 2J is in. It is fully mounted and wired, minus a few things need to be plugged in, but it probably and most likely will not be running for SEMA, unfortunately. I, unfortunately, have been running out of time. I'm doing this mostly alone. I have friends and employees that come and help, but, you know, a large majority I'm having to do kind of by myself. And also, I have a lot going on in the business, which is taking up a lot of my time. Just not enough time in the day and not enough time before the show. But motor's in, which is basically the largest part, as well as the trans. The trans is already mounted as well. But we won't have hot side, we won't have cold side, and I won't have a drive shaft. That's really the only three things stopping me from being able to drive the car. So that'll get done basically right after SEMA. This is also just kind of mocked up. I have to tighten up the bolts, but turbo's in, which is awesome. And that's from Carrot Top Tuning, who actually sponsored the build and sent us the tile wastegate, the tile blow-off valve, the turbo, and then it hooked us up with a discount on the manifold. Great guy over there. Highly recommend him. His name is Dave, I believe. Awesome owner. Go support that small business if you need anything for your 2J, or I know he does a lot of Honda stuff as well. But yeah, anyways, chassis coated with monocoat, the black, just kind of right over it. It's all cleaned up. The bottom is undercoated with a Raptor liner that I did over top of our epoxy. And yeah, so that is where we are currently at. Now I'm gonna turn this off and get back to work. Now it's time for me to get back to work. This is going to go into our DTM high build primer, which you will hear more about in the very near future. This is going to be actually our first vehicle that I'm going to be spraying completely with my new product. So new DTM primer on the way. This is just a little teaser, but it is awesome. I've used it on a bunch of test panels, and you know, I've had customers use it and that kind of stuff already. So the testing's awesome. This will be my personal first full vehicle that I'm using it on. Super excited. Hope you guys are too. Let's go. Cheer me on in the comments because I need it. Not a lot of sleep before SEMA, but the car will be there. It will be done, minus some of the swap stuff, as I said, but for the most part, we're gonna be there. We're gonna be there talking with everyone, showing off our colors, showing off our new products, showing off this beautiful car. Well, it will be beautiful. It's not very beautiful right now, but appreciate you. And again, go follow the sponsors. Obviously the Spray Source, please, thank you. And then Detroit Steel Wheels, Diamondback I don't know what their handle is on Instagram. Diamondback Tires. They're the ones that sponsored the white walls that are on my Detroit steel wheels, and then Carrot Top Tuning. Go follow them, and I thank you guys.